9 months after he took the oath of office, former president and convicted felon Ted Matthews today began serving his sentence at a federal prison in Stafford, Virginia.
Tonight, the president and his top advisors will be burning the midnight oil.
Sabotage. My God, man, what does it mean?
We have to tighten security, sir. Find out who's behind it.
No. The word sabotage. What's it mean?
It means someone's trying to subvert our mission, sir. One of our own people could be working with the enemy.
Huh. Come in.
Mr. President.
Dude! Oh, Jesus, don't you ever sneak up on me like that again. What is it, Bob?
If Edwards gets wind of this, he'll use it against you in the campaign. He'll try to prove that you're incompetent.
I can prove that as well as he can.
Me to sleep, Mom. We're in Washington, D.C. That's just where we're going to be in the morning when you wake up. Now you get to bed. But I want to see the president. And don't wake your father. He's got that early meeting at the State Department. When I grow up, I'll be the president.
When I behold the charm of evening skies, their lulling endurance, the patterns of stars with names of bears and dogs, a swan, a virgin, other planets that the Voyager showed were like and so unlike our own, with all their diverse moons, bright disks, weird rings and cratered faces. Comets with their streaming tails bent by pressure from the sun, the skyscape of the Milky Way, holding in its shimmering disk an infinity of suns, or say 1,000 billion. Knowing there are holes of darkness, gulping mass and even light, knowing that this galaxy of ours is one of multitudes in what we call
Prime
heaven.
Time Live, brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Together winning the world over with the exciting line of 1989 Ford cars. Have you driven a Ford lately?
In the meantime, we ask all Americans to pray for the President of the United States will now address the nation.
This government must be preserved in spite of the acts of any man or set of men. Nowhere in the world is presented a government of so much liberty and equality. To the humblest and poorest among us are held the highest privileges and positions. Our reliance is in the love of liberty which God has planted in us.
I know what's real and what is fake.
My New Year's resolution is to keep my foot on these bitches' necks.
Circuits return for 2 weeks. Kids will love.
Get ready for back.
Thanks.
So, Zuri, how do you like your meat?
I would say thick, meaty.
Just a friendly
Cold.
reminder that if she
It's
puts
fishy
her hair in a
swirls.
ponytail while maintaining perfect eye
It's
contact
supposed to be
with you,
cold.
then one of two things is about to happen, and if you aren't
Here around, certified lover boy.
An episode for kids featuring a poodle lady, the world's fattest man, and an aquatic bird boy.
Batches out there be on the lookout for Captain Saberhouse, cause he's.
You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm on my feet.
Women, no distractions, no procrastination, no junk food, no
I suppose
smoking,
you
no
feel better
drinking,
now,
no
sir.
gaming, no negative people, no
It's yellow, flush it.
No.
If you pee in your toilet every single night
Actually, I
and
feel
don't flush
worse.
it, this is what's going to happen eventually.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
History went on fast forward as we closed out the 80s. And everyone realizes that things are happening today that are extraordinary, unprecedented. And it's like the future shock that we were warned about by Alvin Toffler, the fact that culture and history is changing so fast that we're in a state of shock because nothing's familiar anymore. And things are happening that are earth-shaking, things that people didn't dream could happen, happened within a space of 3 months at the end of the 1980s.
Russia, nation in conflict, God's instrument to fulfill end-time prophecy. World War III. Will it be fought with conventional armaments or nuclear weaponry? Armageddon. Satan's last attempt to thwart the eternal plan of Almighty God. Russia, World War III, and Armageddon.
With healing in their hand, God's got an army marching through the land. Let me hear. Let me hear. Let me hear.
Live from the White House, Primetime Live continues. Now from the Yellow Room, Sam Donaldson joins the First Lady.
We're back on the second floor of the White House here in the Yellow Oval Room. Mrs. Bush, I guess it's obvious how it got its name. It's a more formal room.
Notice I said December 7th, please.
It's a more formal room. And
Yes.
Jacqueline Kennedy restored it, didn't
It's
she?
a beautiful state dinner, and only 4 of us know it. It's so sad because it's one of the most beautiful ceremonies. Up the grand staircase come
Millie, stop
5
that.
military people, and one from each of the services, and they march in and they do...
The back?
No, but I
entire?
come very quickly.
Well, this is the formal room, and interestingly enough, it's near the most informal
That's right.
setting in the White House.
That's right. It's really wonderful. Let me show you the Truman balcony, which is a great addition to the White House. Look how beautiful.
Yeah.
And I had a luncheon here earlier this week. We have people quite often.
How often do you entertain? Is it true
All
that
the time.
You go out every night?
No, we don't go out every night, but we entertain. Here he comes. Ask George Bush how often
Do
we
you
entertain.
object when she dubs you Pearl Mesta Bush because you entertain so
I
often?
didn't make that
Then
up.
laid a glove Well, who on. Did?
The protocol chief at the United Nations 1,000 years ago made that up about George.
Do you ever, does the lack of privacy ever get to you? I mean,
Not
this is
really.
the most private outdoor place you have in a way.
private. No, no, we have secret gardens.
Of Secret,
yes, we have secret gardens.
No, oysters are
private.
but don't you just sit out here
down here, and the
in the
fun
dark
is to
when people
walk
don't
down to
know
that
it and look out at
gate
the monument?
and come home after work and
You keep going back to the Al Shuhada. Is there something special about this group that interests you?
No.
You know, I don't think we're having a Mideast current affairs lesson here. I think we're talking about missiles.
Missiles?
Mm-hmm. Why the hell do you think I'm sitting here? Because I have strong contacts who are telling me that U.S. missiles have somehow found their way there. Now I have a Navy SEAL asking me questions about Shaheed.
You're telling me the Al Shuhada has gotten their hands on U.S. missiles?
No, you're telling me.
I didn't say anything.
Me neither. Come on, Lieutenant. What are the SEALs up to?
Nothing special. Training.
May I take a look?
Sure.
We are Americans. We have a unique responsibility to do the hard work of freedom. And when we do, freedom works.
Our objectives are clear. Saddam Hussein's forces will leave Kuwait. The legitimate government of Kuwait will be restored to its rightful place. And Kuwait will once again be free.
Our strategy to go after this army is very, very simple. First, we're going to cut it off, and then we're going to kill it.
The last days of the war, 2 of his generals, one of his admirals, Admiral Porter, and the rainbow shows the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will, or the hope that was in the picture as the war drew to an end. And Lincoln, known for, properly revered for freeing the slaves, kept the Union together. And there's
Lincoln
it's
is such a
strong
brooding presence
painting.
in this house, though, and I get the sense that you don't think the the presidency is splendid misery, as someone said.
Well, I haven't been tested by fire. Abraham Lincoln had that goal of holding the Union together, keep brother from killing brother. I mean, it was tough.
What are
tough
these?
Kids' things, and I'm a kid. These are little toy soldiers, very nice ones, lead soldiers.
Did you put them up here?
I stuck them up here, and then I had grandchildren climb up and pull up a chair and look at them, and there's Lee and there's Grant.
George Orwell said once he wondered if kids could be trained to play with little tin pacifists and lose their appetite for war.
Well, George does it his way, and I'll do it my way. Two Georges.
There's the family waiting for the president of the United States.
No matter what the problems were outside the count room, it was all worth it. The cash kept rolling in, and the suitcases kept coming and going. And let me tell you, the fucking bottom line here is cash. The only problem was that after a while, the bosses noticed that the suitcases were getting a little light.
Hushpet, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that the money we're robbing is being robbed? That somebody's robbing from us? We go through all this fucking trouble, and somebody's robbing us?
Like I said, you know, it's part of the business. It's considered leakage.
Leakage my balls. I want the guy who's robbing us.
Even John Nance, that's the guy who ran the scam. He knew there wasn't much you could do about it. You gotta know that a guy who helps you steal, even if you take care of him real well, I mean, he's gonna steal a little bit extra for himself. Makes sense, don't it? Right? Well, you go try and make these hard-headed old greaseballs understand that.
What's the point of skimming if we're being skimmed? Defeats the whole purpose of what we're doing out there.
You know, they take this money because they're my guys. So you gotta give them some leeway.
But the bosses never believed in leeway, so listen to what they do. They put Artie Piscano, the underboss of KC, in charge of making sure nobody skimmed the skim.
What have you been doing out there?
What's that doing with my Gumad?
You Gumad? What are you doing with your Gumad?
What else? I gave her a scaff.
The only trouble was Piscano was a disaster. This guy could fuck up a cup of coffee.
What the hell have you been doing out there, Artie?
Well, I'm out there more than I'm here.
And little did anybody know where this would all lead. If they did, they would have been better off making fucking novenas.
You gotta go back there and talk to that guy.
Come on, go back. I never got paid my expenses for the last trip.
What expenses?
Well, I'm going all over laying money out of my own pocket and I never get anything back. What the hell's going on?
You gotta go back out there.
Well, then from now on, I'm gonna start keeping records.
Artie, no records, Artie. What are you gonna do with records? Pay taxes?
I don't care. I keep laying out my own fucking dough for these trips and nothing ever comes back. I mean, what the hell's going on? What are we doing over here?
His mafia colleagues saw it as a way to earn points with the U.S. government, as protection against future prosecutions by the feds. Instead, they found themselves the targets of a tough new anti-crime campaign by Jack Kennedy and his brother Robert. It was a carryover from Jack's career in the Senate on a committee investigating James Hoffa's Teamsters Union and its links with organized crime.
Back to this, a strike-breaking, union-busting bill. In my opinion, Mr. Hoffa, this bill is not a strike-breaking, union-busting bill. You're the best argument I know for it. Your testimony here this afternoon, your complete indifference to the fact that numerous people who hold responsible positions in your union come before this committee and take the Fifth Amendment because an honest answer might tend to incriminate them.
Jimmy Hoffa became an obsession to Jack's brother Bobby, the committee counsel. Bobby became Hoffa's nemesis. Threats against Jack were reported.
Today, we had a stock market crash. It was not the cause of the present depression.
It was the result of overconfidence. Today we are suffering from overcaution, and of the two, I do not know which is the worst for us.
My wife thinks I'm a millionaire. Can you beat it? Last night after we came back from a nice long drive, she wanted me to take her downtown to dinner on the show.
Well, why don't you be diplomatic? Tell her that you were tired after driving.
Tired, I wasn't tired. I was thinking of the dough. I can't be spending money on movies and restaurants with things as they are. I've got to save.
You've got to save. You're afraid to spend a few bucks. Well, I think your wife is right. You big tightwad, you give me a pain in the neck. Here's your wife working around the house all week, slaving, cooking for you, and then you begrudge her a little change on Saturday night. I'm off you.
But, Bill, you don't understand. It's the hard times. You know I've always been a good sport, but this depression stuff has got me, and I'm scared.
Oh, I see. You're one of the guys they've got the warnings out for. Walk, don't run to the nearest exit. A lot of scared rabbits run to cover over nothing, and you follow like a bleating lamb. I'm surprised at you. A man of your intelligence shouldn't pay any attention to a lot of foolish calamity howlers. You're doing well. You've got the money. Go ahead and spend it.
Over the years, the equity in your home has steadily grown into a vast resource. And while most banks will let you tap into that equity, they don't give you much choice in how or when. So rather than leave a very big decision to someone else, come to the bank that gives you the power of control. Introducing Equity Maximizer, only from Security Pacific.
It's funny. You turn 30 and boom, it hits you. I'm an adult now. I've got a husband. I've got a house. Pretty soon I'll be having kids. These are adult responsibilities. I mean, it's great, but you've really got to watch where your money goes. The trick is finding a way to pay the mortgage, save money for the future, and still have enough left for what you want to do now.
U.S. Bank. Working for you, working for Washington.
I think we're in good shape.
And I picked her up at the airport, and I drove her back, and I said, you know, I bought that house you liked. She said, what? I said, that house you like, I bought it, so you better marry me, because I can't live in this big house by myself.
I can't do anything like program VCRs or set digital clocks, and so I'm always needing his help to come to my rescue. But he's a perfect example of the kind of dedicated service that people have given to the White House and to presidents and their families over 200 plus years.
I know somewhere there's a wonderful love. Hey! Waiting just for hey, bud. Get a cigarette? Trying to remember what I just can't forget. Feel like a stranger in my hometown. I look around for a familiar face. Is there anyone still around? Then all I know is what my heart keeps saying. All these memories, memories of you, girl. I'm still searching, trying to remember. All these memories, memories of you, girl. Memories of you.
But the gardens are also filled with many private places, rarely seen by the public, especially in the south grounds. Alongside the colonnade that connects the main house to the east wing is the Jacqueline Kennedy Garden. First ladies often use this area for informal receptions. Long known as the East Garden or the First Ladies' Garden, its current design was created during the Kennedy administration. It was a significant change from the look of the garden when it was photographed with President Woodrow Wilson and his second wife, Edith. A variety of herbs, including chives, thyme, and rosemary, are cut from this garden for the White House kitchen. Up until the 1880s, vegetable gardens on the grounds supplied the president's table. The temporary exhibition of 20th century American sculpture was instituted in the First Lady's Garden by Hillary Rodham Clinton. Just outside the Oval Office, on the opposite side of the White House, is one of the most famous gardens in the world, the Rose Garden. Anchored in four corners with magnolia trees and bordered by rows of crabapple trees and evergreen shrubs, beds of seasonal flowers form a geometric pattern based on an 18th century garden design. The creation of the Rose Garden was supervised by President Kennedy's friend Rachel Lambert Mellon in 1961. At the turn of the century, First Lady Edith Roosevelt had designed a colonial garden here, filled with old-fashioned flowers, sweet peas, black-eyed Susans, quince, and jasmine, among others. President Woodrow Wilson's first wife, Ellen, replaced the colonial garden with the first Rose Garden in 1913, but died shortly after its completion. The Rose Garden has been the scene of hundreds of White House events. In one remarkable meeting, President Kennedy welcomed a group of young men that would include a future president, Bill Clinton. The only wedding of a president's child outside on the White House grounds took place in the Rose Garden in 1971, the marriage of President Richard Nixon's daughter, Patricia. Most outdoor events take place on the South Lawn, the site since Lincoln's presidency for elaborate ceremonies for dignitaries. President Lyndon Johnson brought his own unique stamp to the South grounds in 1969 when he sponsored an old-fashioned county fair.
Finally, dinner begins. While dinner continues upstairs, downstairs, the staff is battling back an avalanche of dishes.
Working hard, fellas. Cocktails at 7. After the cocktails, that's when it starts flowing in. Start coming down, and after that, it's non-stop.
Do you kind of forget where you are, or do you ever forget where you are?
No. You know you in the kitchen watching the dry dishes.
There was a time, a special place, where I just don't know. I'm all alone in a cold, cold world. It's hard, but I'm still trying. I got to find that special girl to warm this heart of mine. All I know is what my heart keeps saying.
But if a few Americans were making names in Europe, Cassatt, Whistler, Sargent, or Henry James, the heavy traffic across the Atlantic was all coming the other way. Without the American expatriates, the culture of Edwardian London or Paris would have been much the same. But the flow of old art from Europe and the creation of museums to house it jump-started the idea of a high public visual culture in this country. And beyond that was something more momentous still. It was people, not masterpieces, that transformed American civilization. Millions of people packed like sardines on boats. As the rich were importing the emblems of a dying European aristocratic order, the big story of American cultural change lay with the arrival of the serfs, the immigrants, the culture of mobility and displacement that would give America new vernaculars and help turn New York into the ground zero of a modernist explosion.
You ask me, am I up here for personal glory? No. How can this be accomplished? I know you're all concerned.
That's right. How we doing? Yeah. Nana.
What up, pop? Brace yourself as the ride on top. Close your eyes as you ride right out your side. Don't lose his mind as he grind in the tunnel. Wanna give me the cash he made off his last bundle? Nasty girl, won't pass me the world. I push the beat, not the backseat girl. Don't depot the sea, no, she floats. Murder she wrote and keeps the heat close. Firm nigga, we post to be the illest on 3 coasts. Familiar, bigger than egos. Y'all Danny DeVito, small niggas. All I see is the penny eaters. That's all niggas. No shark in this year, raise the bigger. 15% make the whole world sit up and take notice. Now I take over. Y'all take quotas. Bye-bye.
Straight up the gate, y'all, we drop hits. Now tell me, how nasty can you get? All the way from the hood to your neck of the woods is ripped. One thing for sure. That's right, we drop hits. Tell me, how nasty can you get? All the way from the hood to your neck of the woods is ripped. One thing for sure.
I'm too loud, nasty as I wanna be.
You know, shake your sassy ass in front of me. Before I take it there and tear your back out.
That shit ain't happened since the map was out. Lola Falana, dripped in Gabbana. 90s style, the finest style. Round the waist to fit, wanna taste the shit? Put me on a basin, throw your face in it. Fuck her. Nah, y'all can't touch her. My sex drive all night like a trucker. Let alone the skills I possess. And y'all gon' see by these mills I possess. Never settle for less, I'm in excess, not inexpensive. EVS to the till, that's just the way I'm built. Nasty, world classy, still.
Straight out the gate, y'all, we drop hits. Now tell me, how nasty can you get? All the way from the hood to your neck of the woods is ripped.